Hey, Mad Monster here. We're back to free game reviews. Yay! And this time I added ratings for each game in 3 different categories. We got gameplay mechanics, storyline, and visuals. If you like any of the games or the ratings, it would really help me out if you liked the video or left a comment about what you liked or didn't like about the video. I want to help people find new games that don't cost any money, so the more feedback I get, the more I can help. I put links to all of the games in the description, so enjoy. Coming up first on the list, we have Traha Global. Look, I know there are a ton of MMORPG games out there, and specifically, World of Warcraft came out with a huge expansion, but I think for a free game, Traha Global is put together really well. Now, I'm not a big fan of MMORPGs only because I don't have the free time to grind through a single game. I personally prefer to try new games all the time, but if you're a hard grinder, then you might like Traha Global. To start, it has a ton of customization, and it's clear to see why some people might like this game. There are unique attacks, cards you can use to increase your stats, different pets you can ride around on, and a ton of different enemies and challenges to complete. For mechanics, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Only because I don't know a lot about MMORPGs, but I had zero issues with the mechanics of the game when I was playing. Story, 3 out of 5. There is a story, but I only played for an hour, so I don't know what it's about, except you get to choose between 2 factions when you start the game. Visuals is going to be 5 out of 5. For a free game, the visuals are amazing. The attacks look really cool and unique, and the open world seems complete and has a ton of beautiful landscapes. I would play Traha Global again. I barely scratched the surface of the game after playing for 1 hour, and there's so many other things to unlock. Coming at number 2 on the list, we have The Swarm. The Swarm reminds me of the old school arcade game Space Invaders, but on a 3-dimensional area. You have free movement to go around and collect the nanoswarms found in the area. The nanoswarms are going to act as your offense and defense while you try to defeat the bosses. You can shoot the boss by charging your nanoswarms by holding right click and sending them off like a bullet. But if the boss shoots you, the nanoswarms will sacrifice themselves to save you. Then you have to go get more. The more bosses you beat, the more you can level up your little ship and your attacks and be stronger. But the bosses are hard as hell, and it took so long to kill, so good luck. Ah, damn it, I think I had a cable. Hold on. Ow, fuck. Will you subscribe to me? A Mad Monster, I will subscribe to you.
Did you just...
Mm-hmm.
And did you say...
Mm-hmm.
What the hell was that? Alright, I think I got the right cable this time. For mechanics, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. The mechanics are simple and I had no issues with them. That's pretty much it for this type of game. Story, 0 out of 5. There isn't one. All you do is you kill a boss, you level up, rinse and repeat, which is perfectly fine for this type of game. Visuals, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I think the visuals are awesome. The colors are cool and the bosses are definitely unique. Final rating, I would not play this game again just because it took so long to kill the bosses. I was getting bored by the time I finally killed the first boss. Then I died as soon as I started the second boss and I had to restart. Number 3 on the list, we have Operation Harsh Doorstop. Are you tired of playing Call of Duty or tired of playing Battlefield? Do you want to try something different but somehow the same? Operation Harsh Doorstop feels like a mix of both games, but worse. The developers planned for the game to be simple in its design and essentially have people mod it to make it better, which is kind of cool that it fully supports mods, but not at the expense of releasing an unfinished game. Yes, it's in early access, and yes, they admit that the game has bugs, but it just wasn't enough to grab my attention for more than a single match, and I primarily play shooters. For mechanics, I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. The controls were confusing or didn't work. You can't tell where you are killed from, so it's like playing only on hardcore mode, and the sound is very bad. At one point an airstrike came in and it sounded like Zeus himself landed on the battlefield and was throwing lightning everywhere. Story is going to be a 0. There's no story, it's only multiplayer. Visuals is going to be a 2 out of 5. The map was fine and in a desert area, so the graphics themselves were okay. The worst part is, I couldn't see any enemy to save my life. Literally. Not unless they were right in front of me. If you want to mod the game and make it better, you might like it, but I'm going to give this a big ol' no. I would not play it again. Alright, number 4 on the list, we have Energy. Energy is a platform shooter that has 2 game modes to choose from. You shoot bots or you shoot targets. but I have no idea what shooting targets game mode looked like since the game would let me play it. Your main objective in the game is to get the highest score you can by shooting the bots that chase you around the map. It does have a co-op play function, which is great, if you have friends. Mechanics, I'm giving this a 1 out of 5 because the mechanics are ultimately what made me quit playing the game after 30 minutes. I wasn't able to play the target shooting game mode, which is the only other game mode. I started it and it was exactly the same as the bot mode, and after firing a single shot, it broke the game and wouldn't let me do anything else. Story, there is no story, which is fine for a platform shooter. I'm only giving it a 2 out of 5 for visuals because the visuals weren't bad, they just weren't good. Overall, I would not play Energy again until they made some updates to the game. At least make the 2 game modes work. Okay, the last free game we're going to review today is the Art of War card game. This is a deck builder card game. You have 4 factions to choose from, which give you various unique cards in those factions. Each faction also has a leader card, which has an ability, such as use 2 of your card's abilities, or give it to the enemy so you can pick up 1 of your cards and play it again. The cards in the deck can have 0 health points, only health points, or a combination of health and defense. And I don't know if it's because I'm not experienced with deck builders, but it took me a while to figure out that scores are the total health points you have on your table. The person with the most scores will win the round, and you have to win 2 rounds to win the game. Also, keep in mind the pass button is not a single turn pass. If you press that, you're basically saying, I don't want to play again this entire round. And I found that out the hard way. I like that it had a training mode and a ranked mode. I don't really play deck builder games, but it was cool to see the animations of the attacks that you laid out. Mechanics, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Overall mechanics are okay. I appreciate that it had a training mode that lets you play against the AI, but it would have been better if it didn't put a timer on me. I wanted to read the cards to see what each one can do and think about my moves since it was just training. I think it would be better if it gave you the option to turn the timer on or off. Story is going to be a 1 out of 5. There is a story, but I didn't listen to it, and there's only 1 page in the story to read. Visuals, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I knew it was a card game going into it, so I wasn't expecting 4K graphics when I'm playing a card, but the visuals that it had were really nice.